So Kaiser Permanente, she's telling the nurses if you're seen wearing your own 95 masks, you can be fired on the spot. That's what they said. I wanted to start with that here. The emergency is not coming, it's here. There's areas where they're telling nurses not to wear masks, doctors not to wear masks. That's their policy now. Like people's going to get sick. They're going to let the people get sick. Yesterday, the governor of Texas was telling seniors to basically be willing to die for the economy. And I wanted to make a video, but my mind wasn't in the right place. I'm ready and prepared and poised now to do this. We're literally being asked, not just seniors, we're all being asked to die for capitalism. I always knew this was coming. I always knew that would come. Isn't it crazy? They used to talk about the jihadis and stuff, and how like jihadis were so radical with the suicide bombers and stuff like that. And you know, and what they were saying by that, with the jihadis being radical, is that they're willing to sacrifice their lives to fight for something they believe in. You know. And they're asking us to do the same thing. Ain't that crazy? We're being asked to do the same thing for capitalism, to protect the economy. Republicans told you not to panic while they were dumping their stocks. We've got masks. We got areas in this country that don't have masks, don't have gloves. They lied to you. Trump downplayed it and said that this will go away. It has not. Now he's telling you that the cure can't be worse than the disease itself. You know, a while back, David Pakman they were asking him about like when is the proletariat going to rise up, and you know when are we going to rise up against the overlords or whatever, the capitalist class? And he said, you know, you'd be surprised how, and it's true. You'd be surprised how long they can drag these kind of things out, because we know the empire is collapsing. The American empire will end soon. I'm sorry, I'm breaking up this stuff here. And he was talking about how, you know, every so often they'll throw a little piece into the economy to keep things going, to keep people from rioting and tearing it up. I agree. One thing about Trump, what he signifies, Trump signifies the era where the rich really don't care. Where the rich make no pretense about doing basic things for their citizens. This is a new era we're living in. It's a very new, different area we're living in here. I think after this coronavirus pandemic ends or slows down, I think progressives have to really grasp upon this, that we can't expect them to just do this. It'll just be Big Daddy corruption. It'll be like Shawshank Redemption corruption. Like, you know, they put the money in the cake box. This is not just that anymore. These capitalists are willing to kill us for their own ineptitude. You as a president defunded the CDC, got rid of the pandemic response team. Your Republican senators and people that support you lied for you while dumping their stocks. Now you want us to fucking die to protect your capitalism. Fuck you. If progressives can't get this, we are lost as a movement. Baby, it's time to go to jail. It's time to go to jail, because you're dealing with people who are so corrupted, they are willing to sacrifice us to. This is not the bailouts. This ain't the '08 bailout. This isn't the bailouts where I'm like, man, it's wrong. No, this is something where millions will die. Trump was briefed back in January about this, and he did nothing. He did nothing. I think they knew longer than that. This is a crisis of ineptitude. People don't want me to be political. No, this is a crisis of ineptitude. And this is where, you know, peak prosperity, Other folks that are foul don't really get into the politics. But you can't not get into the politics. Trump fucked this up. And he's getting ready to make it worse by letting this thing loose during Easter. It may be worse then. I don't think it'll be any better. It may be worse. That's why Fauci wasn't out at the last press conference. He knew it. It's just like when he pardoned that war criminal that was murdering people out there, this Navy SEAL. It's just like that. And the Admiral or Secretary of Navy was like, I'm not gonna allow this. And he was talking about how he was thinking about resigning. And then he said, no, I'm not. Then he got fired. Come on, bro. We ain't stupid. We know what that was. You got fired. You know? If you're gonna stand up. Don't be on your knees waiting for somebody. No. Stand up. If you're gonna die, let's die like men taking other men down. Sit on your knees. But no. He stood for principles. I respect him. But don't try to bullshit and make it that what Trump was doing wasn't corrupt. It was very corrupted. That man committed war crimes. That Navy SEAL committed war crimes. You know what the most sad thing about that is? And all these whistleblowers, I always look at the next event, the next Snowden, the next Daniel Ellsberg, the next Pentagon Papers. Somebody out there right now is looking at something. It's really wrong. It's really corrupted. And he's thinking to himself, what will my life be after I do this? When you downplay these things and you don't stand up and take the bullet or take the punch or whatever, I think it makes it harder for the next person. And I realize now at 30 years old, that's what protects democracy. It isn't guns. It isn't marching troops. What protects democracy is one man. It's one man. It's being able to stand up for the truth. You know, as another man said it, it's hard. The test of integrity is hard, but the whole world's waiting for someone just like you, just like me, stand up and do what's right. That's it. The whole world's waiting. You know, test of integrity is hard. I'm not getting into that. My point is just that Trump made this a crisis beyond measure. Now he wants us to die for his ineptitude. That's why they ask him questions. It's a very ugly question. He doesn't respond to it. He has his chance then. He's had his chance before to speak out, to go after these claims, and to make whatever statement he needs to make to debate these things. He has not. He's a fascist. Fascists don't do that. Fascists don't feel as though they have to explain themselves to anybody. Period. So I just feel as though if progressives don't seize upon the moment and say, nah, man, this ain't about pollution no more. This ain't about climate change no more. This ain't about Trump making racist, bigoted, homophobic statements. You know, this ain't about Trump doing things that we're like, well, that's really not right. No. This is about a fool that's about to get millions of people killed because of fucking ineptitude. If, like I said, if progressives, and I only say that because of the fact, I only say that because of the fact that you have public officials openly telling you that you should be willing to die. It just gets me because I remember when they went into Iraq and all, they were, how weird it was that you had jihadis. How is that different than what Trump's asking? How is that different than what the governor of Texas is saying? How is it different? Listen, how is it different for some guy to run out in the street with AK-47 and shoot at armed American troops with armored vehicles and use IEDs? How is that different than me accepting my death because of a pandemic that could have been prevented? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's no different. I mean, it's no different at all. I just find that interesting. Everything they said about the Iraqis and all that now we're going through it. I really do feel like, what's oregano? I really do feel like the chickens have come home to roost. That America is paying for the things that we've done all over the world. I really feel like that now. America's paying. You know, hope nobody I know dies of this. That may happen. I thought about that last night. I spoke about that. That may happen. People I know may die. You know, it's kind of exciting in a way, and I know that sounds really morbid, because I've been a survivalist for a really long time. Everybody I know has mocked me on it. People made fun of me. People made fun of me having these things. I've had a respirator for a while. You know, I've got files and files and files on this kind of stuff. People have made fun of me and laughed at me and stuff. I mean, the post office, I was doing that little job going to Columbia, and now the post office is shut down. They've been shut down for a couple of weeks, at least since I went to California. Well, since I've been back. And I was wearing a mask there a week before they shut down. And it's just crazy. That's just to me, that is crazy that here I was wearing a mask and you were making fun of me, and then right after I leave, they shut your shit down. I know for black people in the South, they're never gonna get it. They're never gonna get it. But I thought, to me, it brought it home to me. I hope it brought it home to them. I don't care about them, but it brought it home that just because people don't like what you do doesn't mean it's not legitimate. I've accepted that. I've accepted that to be a thoughtful person living in the South, you're gonna be hated because these are not thoughtful people. I'm never going to be accepted down here. That's why I joke about being universally hated, because the way I think, I'm a socialist. But I recognize I'm living in a crumbling society. And I recognize that all of the solutions the people in the South put forward just buy a little bit more time, and in some cases make the problems that we face much worse than it would be otherwise. And I know that. You know, shit, it's burning. I'm burning my fucking bread. My fridge. I left it on. Oh man. Yeah, I realized that you're never going to be accepted. It's amazing to see conservatives buying into that. That's something else that I've watched that really is amazing to me. Is that, you know, I used to always hear about Obama gonna take the guns and all this kind of stuff, and Obama didn't. That never didn't happen. You know, and I know why it done that. I get it. It's a hate for Obama. It's a hate for black people getting into power. I get it. I know what all it is. Like, I'm not trying to. When I talk like that, I'm not trying to give that thought process any value, and I have to be careful. But that was talked about. He's gonna take the guns. He's gonna, you know, socialism, communism. No, that's not what happened. And now conservatives talking about with Trump, he's gonna use it to take the guns. And to me, it's so funny. It's like, I know that for rednecks, all they care about is guns and low taxes. That's it. And being in states like Ohio and Kentucky and places like that, where that kind of thought process really goes, I see what comes from that. Poor roads, you know, you got aggressive police trying to pull you over for everything. I see what comes from that. That thought process of just, everybody needs to carry a gun, we need to have no taxes. Well, you're going to get toxic waste in your rivers, like in Ohio. Cuyahoga River back in the day, where the river caught on fire. That's what comes from that. I'm not trying to reason with people no more. And you shouldn't either. I'm not trying to, yeah. Anyway, peace out.